Hey everybody, it's Rudy Waldner back with the Polka Dot Banner. For this week's or this month's session, we're going to flip the script a little bit. Last time we worked over Dylan Allen over here, who's the YouTube marketing expert. We worked him over last time. This time he's going to work me over. This was Jamie's idea, the senior editor. Hi Jamie, thanks for the idea. So Dylan's going to work me over to get you guys some of the knowledge of how I spread the word on my book. So, authors, pay attention. Dylan, make it happen.
Well, Rudy, we're here today to talk about trench marketing and how you market that book and sell it across the world. Can you tell us just a little bit about your marketing and selling of your book?
Okay. The thing is, and I think you authors will agree, right? We write a book so we don't have to speak. And then you can't sell a book without speaking. That's why we're all doing this, right? So, everybody you meet, you have to talk to about your book. You can't push it, but everybody's got to know what you do, what you stand for, and what your book is about.
Well, I know you've talked to a lot of people around the world about your book. Can you tell us about your world travels with your book tours?
Sure. I'm a world traveler. I love it. Everywhere I go, I try to set something up before I get there. And there's a lot of examples, so if you guys have some time, take out your pens. Like, for example, in March, I'm speaking at a convention in the Bahamas, and I already have a book signing set up at the College of Bahamas bookstore. Before I even got there, I Googled bookstores in the city I'm going to or the country I'm going to, and that's where I begin my search. We visited the pyramids in Egypt a few years ago, and before I got to Egypt, I Googled some bookstores. Subsequently, I'm carried now in Diwan book chain in Egypt, and also I had a book signing in Hurghada, which is a resort town in Egypt as well. I sent that about, 20 emails. I got one response, but it turned out to be like a sellout show. Other successes in Trinidad and Tobago, wow, what a great trip that was. I found someone down there that he owns a bookstore, but he also distributes to all the schools and the libraries in Trinidad and Tobago. So when I got there, I got on 2 TV shows, had a radio interview, had 5 book signings, and I was back-to-back book events. So, to summarize, before I go anywhere, I Google a bookstore, okay? And then I try to make a contact there, and then from there I send out a press release to whoever that contact is, and they either help me connect with the media or not. But at the very minimum, I try to land a book signing in every city I visit, every time I travel for business or for personal reasons.
Wow, it really sounds like you're cooking with gas.
Dude, it takes 30 no's to get one yes.
Right.
But I won't stop until I have something.
That's right. And one thing is your product is needed by people all around the world to help grow their businesses. That's one thing people need now is tools to help grow their businesses. So, I think that's incredible. I've also seen that you do radio and TV and web videos when you go to these places. Can you tell us just a little bit about how you do those projects?
You know what? It's not planned. It's just whenever I land somewhere or before I get anywhere, I always ask if anybody knows anybody in the media. And very often they do. Like I spoke at KU in Lawrence, right? And somebody knew somebody, and I have my press release posted. And again, it's hit or miss, but the thing is you got to keep trying every possible avenue for your book. I'm a business book, so like you said, it relates to every business throughout the world. That's easy. But if you guys have other kinds of books, like a children's book, right? Would you perhaps consider contacting a school and doing the reading in an elementary class, or what do you call where you drop off the children? Babysitters for kids, daycare. How about you have a kid's book and you do a reading at a daycare? There's so many ways. Just look at who your audience is, see where they hang out, and whatever your book relates to, work through that medium.
I like it. And you talked about being at KU and Lawrence. I know you do a lot of college lectures and things. I actually saw you at UKC. Can you tell us just a little bit about how you get involved with the colleges and also how you have time for all this stuff?
I do 7 days a week. I never stop. Just like, I read that Hemingway wrote from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. every day. And that's what I did to get my book out. For 3 months, I wrote from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. And now with that same discipline, I pursue these different avenues. And like it actually says in my book, go to who you know. So at UMKC, I took a class. I got to meet or at least speak to the person coordinating the classes. And then after I took the class, I asked how can I offer a class? And then same thing at JUCO, it's called here, Johnson County Community College. I took a class, I got to meet those people, met the contacts, put together a proposal, and I'm teaching my first class there in February.
Nice.
So it just keeps snowballing, but you can't stop pushing.
Gotcha. So expanding on that, can you tell us about the importance of exposure and just getting your name in front of people on a constant basis?
Yeah, okay, first, for your ego, it's kind of cool when somebody recognizes you, right? So I'm in Tobago at a restaurant, and the owner's wife runs out of the back. She says, "I saw you on TV this morning." She bought us a round of shots.
There you go.
So for the ego, that was great.
Right.
But also, I mean, I have not sold one copy without me being directly involved with the sale. Again, everywhere I go, what I do is I trade my book for massages, oil changes. I tipped waiters with my book, a chiropractic adjustment. In Africa, I traded my book for a mask. I mean, every possible way to get my book into someone's hands that's not free, because I hate the giveaways.
Right.
The giveaways, and you authors know this, I mean, they always ask for a desk copy or a sample copy, and then you see it sold behind your back for pennies. If you look at Amazon now, I mean, it's unbelievable.
Right.
How does somebody sell my book for less than it cost me? That's how. It's all those free samples. So don't give it away for free, but trade it to get into people's hands. That's another way to get exposure.
I like it. So you've traveled the world with this book, from Trinidad and Tobago to Egypt, to the Bahamas. Can you tell us a little bit about the pitfalls and the things that you enjoy the most about doing this?
The pitfalls are getting paid internationally. Egypt couldn't cut me a check, right? So I had to use a local bookstore for them to pay the local bookstore, and then a local bookstore would send me money. St. Lucia, I had 2 great book signings there, but they can't pay me because to cut an international check costs more than what they owe me. So know that going in and get paid the day of. Negotiate that up front. And you have to be delicate, right? Because in a lot of these cultures, Americans look very aggressive in business, probably because we are. So just recognize that and just educate them about the cost of doing business internationally. So, some of the smaller bookshops don't understand that. So get paid up front, even though that's difficult. And so that's a pitfall, getting paid. And then the reward, though, I mean, you're entrenched in these cultures, and an American author is still, I don't want to use the word hero, but an American author still is somebody internationally.
That's awesome.
No, it's great.
That's awesome. Can you tell us about your favorite place? What was the one place you went to that was just extremely receptive and you're just blown away by the response?
Okay, there's I'll give you top 3, because there was this, I mentioned Hurghada, Egypt already. There's this little German community, and my background is I'm Austrian, Rudy Waldner, right? So I walk in, and I started speaking to this room full of people. The tourism minister was there, the Red Pages editor was there, Red Sea Pages, and it happened that everyone in that room spoke German except my wife. So it was just all these German speakers in this little resort town. So we had that in common. So that was crazy, totally unexpected. And then also in Bogota, there's this bookstore called Authors Bookstore. American owners, transplants anyway, and they set up. I did a workshop there for the businesses, and that again, the whole place was packed. They served wine. I mean, it was just that was such a great reception. And then. What else? Again, the Trinidad and Tobago thing. I mean, I was on the air all over the place. I was recognized on the street, people buying us shots. That was very, very rewarding.
Yeah, and I think you told me before you're in the Trinidad and Tobago libraries.
Oh yeah, I got into the library system.
That's awesome.
I mean, my book is in every library in Trinidad and Tobago.
That's cool to know that the kids learning about business are going to be learning it from your book.
Thanks for mentioning that. I really believe in my book. It's not that wordy, elitist kind of stuff. It's more about treating people right, creating relationships, and that's what drives your business.
To me, it's one of those books where you're going to keep it under your counter with a bunch of dog ears and a bunch of Post-it notes sticking out, and you can look at it and think, oh, I need to do this. Why is something happening like this? Well, it's because of this. I can look at it.
Perfect. I absolutely agree. Absolutely.
Nice. Well, Rudy, you sure have given the authors a lot to think about today. Traveling the world with your book, it sounds like a wonderful journey. thanks so much for sharing it with Polka Dot Banner.
Hey, thank you for working me over. You guys, thanks for listening. I'll see you next time. Ciao.